Welcome to the SNN Network Canada virtual event. I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Ali Tasakandar of Wishpond Technologies. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here and speaking to you about Wishpond and our story and where we've been and where we're going next. So a little bit of introduction about Wishpond. The company was founded in 2009, and we've been doing quite well over the past few years, and I'll talk about some of those achievements and accomplishments. But first, what Wishpond is an all-in-one marketing platform that is built primarily for small businesses to help them with running their business online and acquiring customers. So it's an all-in-one platform for customer acquisition online. And this year, we are forecasted by the analysts to hit $14.5 million, and next year, $21.2 million with $1.1 million of adjusted EBITDA. As of end of Q3, September 30th, we were sitting on a cash balance of about $7.8 million with a $6 million line of credit fully available and undrawn. We serve more than 3,000 businesses from across the globe, majority from North America, about 86% of our from North America from various different industries. Little bit about my own background. Education, my background is in computer science, and I've been involved in with a number of technology startups. And when I founded Wishpond in 2009 with my partner Hossein Malik, obviously within Wishpond, I was developer number one, and then quickly after that, was involved in setting up our marketing and sales teams and everything else with the growing team that we had. I'm not going to go through everyone in the team, but some of the maybe more notable mentions here. Hossein Malik, he is a serial tech entrepreneur as well. He founded 2 companies and sold one of them to Lucent Technologies back in 2000. Olivier Vincent, another one of our board members, he has been a tech entrepreneur as well, and one of the companies that he founded was CanPages. He grew it to about $100 million of revenue and sold it for $225 million to Yellow Pages, and has been leading other tech companies since then as well. Arinder Mahal, another one of our board members, he comes from the capital markets and public markets side and brings a lot of expertise from there. He's been with Deloitte and Echelon and Dundee, and currently sits on the board of Nano Explorer as well. So what is the problem that we see in the market? Over the past couple of decades, we see that consumers have shifted their focus from traditional media to online platforms and digital, media, mobile and social networks. And businesses have tried to follow suit and be where consumers are spending time. In the case of small businesses, it has been especially a big challenge for them because the shift to digital is complex, and small businesses, for most part, lack necessary financial resources or the know-how to be able to do this effectively. And that means that they're really presented with 2 options in front of them. On one side, they can try to become a marketing expert and, hire designers and developers and copywriters or become really good at that while they're really busy running their own business day to day. And in that scenario, they have to get variety of these, point solution marketing technology tools and pay for multiple subscriptions and get them to work together, which is not really realistic given, that the cost will add up, but also they're busy running their business and really marketing is not their area of expertise. And the second option they have is go to a marketing agency. Now, the problem is that marketing agencies by far, they focus on mid-tier businesses and up and charge $4,000 or $5,000 a month plus advertising spend, which is really cost prohibitive and not really doable for your average small business. So that's what we see in terms of the market. And what we do in response to that at Wishpond, really our value proposition has 3 pillars to it. The first one is that over the years, we have developed a very comprehensive all-in-one platform. All the technology pieces that you see here on the screen are developed by us, our own proprietary, intellectual property. And so that as a small business owner, you don't have to go to multiple places. Everything you need is at your fingertips in one single cohesive platform. So that's the first pillar of our value proposition, that all-in-one platform. The second pillar is that for your average small business owner, even if you give them all the technology tools under the sun, if they're busy running their own business and they're not marketing savvy, they're gonna not have the best chance of success. And that's why we also provide for those of our customers who need it, an account manager that they can work with who has access to pool of resources such as designers and copywriters and ad specialists and so forth, so that they can get the best chance of using the platform successfully and achieving positive return on investment on it. And the third pillar is that we made it cost effective. So I mentioned, for example, they would have to go to an agency and pay $5,000 a month and above. With Wishpond, they pay $500 a month, even for the managed solution. And in that case, they are getting all the technology platform that they wouldn't have otherwise got, plus the services at a cost that makes sense to them, and we still have close to 70% margins on it. And the platform, in terms of the technology platform, has several pieces to it. You can use Wishpond for building your website, or if you have your own website, we integrate into them. We have a very rich suite of marketing campaign tools for running contests and promotions and creating landing pages and ad, destinations. We have email marketing tools, ability to collect payments or set up subscriptions, appointment booking, sales automation, ad management, customer management portal. It's a very rich and complete platform, and we're adding more to it all the time as well. So some of the other noteworthy items here are that we are currently natively integrated into more than 30 different software platforms, which makes it easier for our clients to adopt Wishpond. One example of that is Shopify. So, someone who's using Shopify for running their e-commerce store would use Wishpond to drive interest and generate customers for their online store. And we have a very deep integration, which means that they can set up shopping cart abandonment campaigns, they can set up email marketing and, set up product recommendations, a lot of those kind of functionalities, and everything that is happening on their Shopify store, such as who checked out what product and what did they purchase and, what did they start to purchase, but they didn't, what pages they visited, all of that is, as well as all the data about who the customers are, flows back to Wishpond, and then you can set up different sophisticated workflows around that as well. I mentioned we serve more than 3,000 customers and rapidly growing. In terms of segments, the largest industry for us is e-commerce, at about 25% of our customers. And that has been a fast-growing one for us as well, a lot of them Shopify clients, and followed by B2B clients, and then, about 8% of our customers are agencies. So agencies would use our platform to run campaigns on behalf of their clients. And then after that, it's really across the board. And as I mentioned, large majority in North America. Over the years, several blue chip companies have used us. Some of the top names that you can imagine. And the way they use the platform is a little bit different from your average small business. They come in, they have a specific campaign in mind, and they use the platform and they leave. Where the SMB actually needs it ongoing as part of their really day-to-day. And but it serves as a very solid point of showing that the system is stable, is secure, is scalable, and works well, and the quality is really world-class. And what we've learned working with some of these blue-chip companies, we can actually bring and make accessible to our small business clients. So when you look at the market, the way we differentiate ourselves against other competitors is that vast majority of platforms out there are silo platforms. What I mean by that is that you would go to one platform, let's say, like Instapage or, Onbounce or something, for creating a landing page. And then you would go to MailChimp for creating your email marketing and sending newsletters, and then Optin-Monster for, creating your pop-ups, and, Salesforce or Pipedrive for your CRM, and the list goes on. And with Wishpond, the key is that it's an all-in-one platform. It has all those components in one place, so that as a small business owner, you don't have to go finick around with all of these platforms and pay for multiple subscriptions. And then it's a cohesive system that works well together. You don't have to worry about how do they integrate, are the numbers consistent, how do I get them flowing between different systems. And then very few of our competitors provide the service of managing the customers' accounts to help them achieve success. And those who do generally would not offer it at the rates that we do. And as I mentioned, we, even when we do that, we do it with 70% margin, 65-70% margin. That works really well for us as well as our clients. We've been growing at very rapid rates in the past few years. Historically, before going public in December of last year, we were growing organically at about 35-40% year over year. This year, we're on track to grow by more than 80%, and that's the projection by the three analysts from Beacon, 8 Capital, and Paradigm Capital who are covering us. We just announced our Q3 financials and grew 90% year over year. We regained our adjusted EBITDA profitability, and I'm very proud of that as well. The 90% year over year growth that you see for Q3, half of it is attributable to organic growth and half of it is attributable to acquisitions that we've made. We've made 3 acquisitions since going public that I'll briefly touch on as well. And in terms of adjusted EBITDA, 2019, 2020, we were profitable. This year, first half of the year, as we invested in an accelerated growth in our sales team and product development teams, we went slightly in the negative, and then Q3 we went back in the positive, and we expect to continue staying in the positive. And as I mentioned, $7.7 or $7.8 million of cash available as well. We're carrying our own weight, so whatever money we have is for most part going into, or all of it going into investing in growth and acquisitions. I talked about this one as well. Q3 that I mentioned, 90% year over year, we achieved about $4 million of quarterly revenue, which basically means annual run rate of $16 million. Wishpond's business model is vast majority of our revenue is subscription-based recurring revenue with annual contracts that renew, charged in US dollars with 65-70% gross margins. And we have 2 types of plans. We have fully self-serve plans where someone comes in and signs up and just uses the technology on their own. And then we have the fully managed plans where they're more expensive. They start at $500. And then you get access to the platform, but we also give you an account manager with a team that can help you get the best out of the platform. Currently, about half of our revenue comes from fully self-serve and half of it comes from fully managed, which itself is hybrid, half and half of technology and services. We've made 3 acquisitions to date since December of last year at about a rate of one acquisition per quarter so far. That's kind of more or less what we're aiming at right now in terms of the velocity of making these acquisitions. Obviously, it really depends on the prospects and the candidates we're talking to and how we feel about them and how they add value. But that's kind of the speed of execution that we've had so far. The 3 acquisitions, you look at them, Invigo Media, PersIQ, and Brax, they've had a few things in common, and those are parts of the criteria that we look for. So we want companies that are marketing or sales technology platforms that would be valuable to our existing clients, and there's cross-sell and upsell opportunities, and their technology is useful to us. We want them to be profitable and add to the bottom line as opposed to detract from it. We want them to be mostly or all recurring revenue so that we can count on that. And a company that we know we can add our own expertise, especially in the area of sales, and grow them faster, similar to how we've grown Wishpond up to now. And lastly, very important, we would like to make sure that we acquire these companies at multiples that make sense and they're accretive to our investors and shareholders. So, you can see a range of 1.1 time multiple of top line sales to close to 3 times in the case of PersIQ. And, obviously each deal is different, but we've tried our best to have some margin of safety in our acquisitions as well. Invigo has been more about marketing operations, about, marketing for healthcare providers and clinics. And a lot of the technology is for back office. In terms of, I generated a lead, what do I do with it now? So CRM functionality, call tracking functionality, and appointment booking, and so forth. PersIQ, on the other hand, is a platform that we've used actually before acquiring them for a number of years, and is a sales automation platform that B2B companies use for sending sales emails and doing outbound outreach. All of our sales development reps are using PersIQ, and we're very happy with it as a client of PersIQ as well as an owner of it, and have been able to grow all of these companies quite successfully as well. And with PersIQ, it also expands the kind of companies that we can serve. Now we have a stronger footprint and offering for B2B clients, where Wishpond historically was stronger with B2C and the types of companies that need more marketing versus sales. Brax, our latest acquisition, is a unified ad management platform as well. Again, very solid company, profitable, 80% gross margins, and growing as well. Since we went public December 11th of last year, our listing price was 75 cents, and the stock price has done quite well. Initially, especially, it went up quite a bit, and then there has been some consolidation, and over the summertime, kind of in the same group as other small cap tech companies, there was a period of slowing down for the stock price. And since we announced our Q2 financials and then Q3 financials and Brax acquisition, the stock has started, picking up again. But a couple of things that are important to note here. One is that the consensus target price by the 3 analysts covering us is $3.17, versus the stock trading at about $1.30, something like that right now. Which means there's tremendous upside available here, and we really believe the stock is underpriced. I myself and other management team members have been active buying in the open market, plan to do more of that in the future as well. We have, through NCIB, some share buyback programs. We haven't bought back in any aggressive terms yet, But at these levels, we think is a good investment for all of our shareholders. Another item that is also important to note is that there's a strong insider ownership of Wishpond, about 33%. And if you add other, close family members, it gets close to the 50% insider ownership, which I think is quite important to note that, we're doing what is best for the company to grow the company for long term, and I think we've executed well along those lines so far as well, and continue to do so. When you look at comparables of Wishpond, on one side you see really large companies like HubSpot and Shopify trading at 30 to 40 times multiple of sales. Maybe closer competitors, companies like Pronto Forms, Media Valley, and so forth, you see around that 6 to 8 time multiple versus Wishpond currently trading at 3.8 time multiple, which again means that quite underpriced and a lot of value to be gained by investors who come in right now. So that's everything I wanted to cover. Just as recap, what is very exciting about Wishpond is that there's a market of millions of small businesses that are underserved right now. Just in US and Canada, about 30 million small businesses, and then so much more if you look globally. And we have a solution that works well for them. It's quite battle tested. As I mentioned, 3,000 paying customers. We have a very deep technology stack that works well with them. They're using it every day and getting value, and it's just getting better every day. And with the acquisitions we're adding, it's becoming richer as well. And it's that one-stop shop. And we have a sales engine that is very scalable and profitable, where $1 investment in our sales gives us $3.50 return in the same year, which means if you have millions of potential customers to reach out to, and we only have 3,000 of those so far, and a scalable and profitable way of reaching them, it's a matter of just increasing sales headcount and getting to them. Last year, we had 12 account executives, 12 salespeople. This year, we've doubled that to about 24, and we plan to double that again for next year. And, with all of that, there's strong, significant growth ahead of us, both organic as well as inorganic through acquisitions. And we are a company that is operating with adjusted EBITDA profitability, generating cash flows from operations, and that means that we can grow responsibly, and any turbulences in the market, we can weather it quite well. And really a strong management team that is experienced in the marketing software industry, and they've been on this for quite some time with a proven track record. That's everything I wanted to cover. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have. Okay, let me look at the questions. So one of the questions is, what is your vision for the company in the next 2 to 3 years? I think when you look at the company, you can answer that question from multiple points of view. One is, let's talk about it in terms of financials. This year, we're going to end the year probably at around that 80% year-over-year growth, going from 7.9 to $14.5 million of revenue, and in a good financial position, and with acquisitions and organic growth. And we plan to continue executing the same strategy in the next 2 to 3 years as well. So it is not irrational to assume that we can repeat the same kind of growth in the next 2 to 3 years. And then you can imagine, 14.5 can become 25, 30 million, and then 50, 60 million in relatively short order. That's on the financial side of it, and we want to grow aggressively, but we want to also grow responsibly. And you can see that from all the ways we've executed in terms of our own growth and investments, as well as the acquisitions we've made. And then on the other side of it is the product vision that we have is we want to be, when someone, a small business says, where should I go for running my e-commerce business? The answer is very clear. Everyone says, go check out Shopify. We want to be the answer to the question when someone says, who should I go to run my business online and get customers, right? And that needs to be Wishpond, and we think we have a really good shot at that. We have the sales engine to reach them, as well as the product suite that is becoming stronger every day as well, and already is very strong. So that, you know, as a business, you can think, okay, my website is running on Wishpond. I'm collecting payments using Wishpond. If someone wants to book an appointment, is using Wishpond's calendar booking. The emails I'm sending to my customers are using Wishpond. The customer profiles and the CRM is using Wishpond. My live chat is using Wishpond. You know, and that's kind of the vision that we have, and we are quite advanced in realizing that vision, and we're going to just, you know, fill more pieces of that puzzle over time as well. So that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time, and have a wonderful day.